I typically have some sort of like witty little intro before I start these videos, but considering I'm pretty sure I just caught a Becky making a false allegation towards her baby daddy, only after I called her out on being toxic towards her baby daddy and her new boyfriend, I don't really find a whole lot of humor in this situation, and I'm just gonna dive into it. Let's go. Today, while scrolling TikTok, I came across a beautiful young pregnant woman, and I was like, oh, she looks nice. I went on her page, and I found this. Obviously, just like any other person watching her video, I perceived it as some form of jealousy and possession over her baby daddy. So I made this video in response.
Your caption says you don't know whether or not to be impressed or upset. And I guess my question is like, why do you feel like you get to feel either of those things anyways? I mean, it's obvious that you feel some type of ownership over the father of your child, and I'm just confused as to why. You can say, oh no, I don't feel like I own him, but obviously you do, or else you wouldn't be feeling these type of negative emotions. And you can say, I'm not feeling anything negative, but then you wouldn't be posting this video. I guess what's like kind of funny to me is that like pregnant women leave their boyfriends all the time, and then they go get new boyfriends while they're pregnant. And that seems to be like socially accepted because, you know, the man just wasn't doing his job. He wasn't making her happy. So we like fully accept that, but then somehow when like a man is not feeling happy with the person he's having a kid with and he goes and dates someone who does make him happy, he's the asshole. We have a right to like trash him on the internet, trash her. Why? You don't own the person that you're having a kid with. Like just because you're having a baby with them doesn't mean that they're like somehow entitled to stay with you for the rest of your life. Or is that why you had a baby with them in the first place? Was that your plan? I know this is a little harsh, but I just want to let you know and make you aware of how your video is coming off to people with a little bit of common sense. Thanks.
Sense, right? You don't possess and own somebody just because you're having a kid with them. I've seen a lot of dads try to possess and own the baby mama, and a lot of baby mamas try to possess and own the dads. It's fucked up. Now, considering it's not very often that I get responses from Becky's after I called them out, I was fairly shocked when I seen her comment on my video. But then I damn near shat my pants when I saw what she commented. Under my video, she comments, I have no idea what you're talking about, as nothing you said applies to me. We planned to get pregnant, he started to abuse me, so I left him. That didn't really make sense or sit right with me. This was my response to her.
Okay, I don't actually know you or your story, so I don't want to make any assumptions and end up being wrong, because that would be awful. But my question here is, if this man was abusive to you, how come your video was directed at the girl being with a man who has a baby on the way and not the girl being with a man who's abusive? Because see, that would make sense to me. But what doesn't make sense is that I often see baby mamas talking shit about the baby daddy or the baby daddy's new girlfriend, and then when they're called out for it, they're always like, oh, well, he was the piece of shit. Well, if he was the piece of shit, then why in your video are you insinuating that you're mad because he's not with you? Like, that is heavily insinuated. Again, your point in your original video had nothing to do with her being with an abusive man. It was her being with a man who had a baby on the way. So again, like, I just want to clarify, I am not trying to discredit you or say that you weren't abused. I'm just trying to let you know that if you were abused, making those types of videos make it really hard for people to see that and relate with you, and it paints you in a bad light instead. As a domestic violence survivor myself and someone who survived it through my first pregnancy, I really hope that you wouldn't lie about something like this, and I'm sure that you wouldn't, because that would be a terrible, awful thing to do. I hope you have a good day.
I am definitely not one to sit on the internet and claim that people are lying about being abused in any type of way. That is not me. But in this situation, I felt like it could not have been more obvious that that allegation was put out there just to manipulate the situation, which is something we see so often. Well, not me, because I'm a woman, but men. Men see that a lot, especially dads in the family courts. It's really unfortunate because not only as women, but as mothers, it's like we can just say whatever we want to expect everyone to believe us. And if anybody calls us out on it, they're the pieces of shit, and society will back them up on that. My issue is that things like rape culture and just not believing victims, male, female, fucking children, like that is a huge issue in society. But another huge issue is false allegations. That shit can impact somebody's life in such a profound way, a way that we could never understand. It's really hard to find the balance in between believing victims and being able to call this shit out sometimes. But I felt like I got it right in this situation. You tell me.
Oh, baby. Don't gotta be